Hi friends, and welcome back to the channel. We have a fun what sold video because it is a take on a what sold video. We are going to do an what actually sold video. So for anyone that is not familiar with my Thriftmas series, back in December, I went thrifting every single day for the first 12 days in December to see what I could find at my local Goodwill retail store. Now, I think a lot of you might have actually found my channel through that. So if you did, I'm so happy you are here. But not one of the most important things as a reseller. The most important thing as a reseller is to make sure your items that you're picking up are actually selling, right? That's kind of like bare bone basics to learn as a reseller. So today we are kicking off a new series on my channel, which is going to be what actually sold from Thriftmas. We are going to go through every single day of Thriftmas, all 12 days, to see what items have sold and what items have not. So as I am doing this video, obviously it's going to take a little while to get through all of those videos on my channel because we're still going to have plenty of other videos. Don't worry. We've got some thrift with me's, we've got some normal what sold, we've got some ship with me's, thrift hauls, all the things. But I'm going to start intermixing this video with those. I remember back when I was publishing those videos getting a lot of comments of like, yeah, I would really love to see what's actually selling. Towards the end of this series of the 12 days, I was starting to kind of pop up what had already sold from the first few days. And you guys really seemed to like that. I got a lot of positive feedback. So I remember mentioning to a couple of people in the comments, like, yeah, we should do some what actually sold videos. So here we are. Shameless plug real quickly before we dive in. Please subscribe to the channel if you've not yet already. I am on my way to hitting 10,000 subscribers. I would really love to hit that in the near future. So if you're here, if you're enjoying it, if you get any knowledge from my videos, please subscribe. As we go, I'm of course going to be popping up the footage from the thrifts with me so you can actually see what I was picking up when I was grabbing it. Hopefully I have good footage. If I don't, I will probably just pop up my listing. We will see how that goes as we move through the video. So today, without further ado, let's talk about what actually sold from Thriftmas day one. On the very first day of Thriftmas, I ended up thrifting 13 items and I spent $66.35. So that made my average cost of goods per item $5.11. Now remember, some of the days of Thriftmas, I did have a 20% off coupon from donating to the store. I did not every single day. I did not write down which days I did or didn't have, just if you're curious. And then I also have the Chesapeake area of Maryland Goodwills has a rewards program where if you spend money, you can gain rewards to use. So I was usually rolling like $5 to $10 of rewards every day as well. So just keep that in mind as we're talking about numbers. Also, you're going to see that we're probably going to be jumping around the video because I am listing all of these by how I typed them into my inventory. It might not have been exactly the same order I found them in the store, but you get it. You get it. You know what we're doing. So the first thing that we picked up were these Merrell Kids Moab 2 sneakers. I've said this before. I will continue saying it. I'm sorry if it's boring. I love picking up Merrell and Keen kids shoes. They sell really well. I typically list these around $35 and they sell usually around like $25, but anywhere between like $20 and $35 typically. My Goodwills usually price these up to $8 and I will buy them at $8 since they are a solid sale. I know they are going to sell. I have a 100% sell-through rate on these items. So I sold these for $24. I believe that was an offer I accepted. And these sold after only 15 days to make me a profit of $14.09. So I always say this, be on the lookout for those, especially if you can get them really cheap and good condition, they will sell. The second I picked up were a pair of Chaco's women's sandals. These have not yet sold. I have been having a hard time selling Chaco sandals recently. I have three or four pairs that have not yet sold. So be careful when you're picking up Chacos, not telling you to avoid them, but just use caution because, these ones have not sold yet. The next item that has sold were these Hannah Anderson Christmas pajamas. These were Star Wars print. They had the Mandalorian print on them. They were absolutely adorable and they were in absolutely excellent condition. They looked like they were brand new or maybe only worn once. Maybe somebody grabbed them and they didn't work for their kid. Maybe they were too big or too small. So these, I accepted a $20 offer. I think I had them listed at $35. I thought about countering, but I also knew that when I listed these, Christmas was in a couple weeks and I did not want to miss Christmas and have to hold on to them for the whole year. So I accepted the $20 offer. They were listed for only 12 days and I made $10.89. If I had gotten these listed sooner, there's a chance I probably would have countered because I knew they would sell eventually, but I did not want to take that chance. Next were a pair of just tried and true Free People shorts. These were a brown linen blend, very boho, beachy, bohemian. I tend to grab these fairly frequently. They're easy to list because I can copy and paste from another listing. I accepted a $20 offer on these also. I think I had them listed probably around $30 or $35. They were a linen blend, so I take that into account rather than if they were 100% linen. I'd be looking for a little bit more for them probably. But these were only listed for 24 days, and I made $10.89 on those as well. The next one, you will probably remember my excitement finding these, and then I think I mentioned in another Thriftmas day that this actually sold. And it was this Rowback golf polo short sleeve shirt. It had an all over print that was very like space astronaut oriented. When I looked it up, it was actually called the Space Shirt. This sold so well. I had heard that Rowback can sell well, but this was my first time ever finding it, so I really was thrilled. I thought it would sell high. I thought it would sell fast, and it absolutely did. I accepted a $50 offer after less than a day, and I think I maybe had it listed for $75. I accepted that offer, took the money and ran, and I made $39.52 just on that one item. That's more than half of what I spent on this entire haul. The next one, I actually don't think I got on camera. I think I had stopped filming and found this like as I was checking out almost. So I probably don't have footage to show you guys, but I'll pop up a picture. And it was this Show Me Your Muumuu Caitlin black maxi dress, full length bridesmaid's dress. It is what it sounds like. It is a chiffon, full length, really beautiful dress. Show Me Your Muumuu can usually do pretty well. Coming into the spring and summer season are usually more of wedding season. So I'm hoping some of my bridesmaids dresses will start selling. It's been a little bit since I've sold them. I'm really antsy. I actually found this same dress in blue recently. That might have been in a different thrift with me. It wasn't during Thriftmas, I don't think. I don't remember. And that one has not yet sold either. So fingers crossed for both of those to sell. Next, absolutely a tried and true seller for me were these Lululemon's men like running shorts. They're called the shorts. It's actually T.H.E. shorts, which is just kind of strange. But they're 9-inch, they're linerless, they're athletic, they're activewear, and Lululemon men's continues to outperform Lululemon's women's for me. So when I found these, they're usually $5 at my Goodwill. They had not priced them up. I knew they were going to sell well, and they did. I accepted a $25 offer after only 14 days, and I made $14.89. It's another one that I could probably hold out a little bit longer, but it was right in the range of comps. Everything I say here, I probably could have held out for a little bit longer, but honestly, I'm looking for those faster sales as long as it's still within a competitive price, like within the range of comps. I'm not looking to sell even myself, of course. This next one you might remember, and it was these New with Tag Outdoor Research women's like base layer pants. And you might remember because I found these like hanging on the kids rack over by the kids shoes, and they were not tagged. So thankfully they did let me purchase them. Oftentimes they will have to take them in the back and then reprice them, and they won't let you buy them until the next day. But I took them up. The people there were very nice. Luckily I had another pair of pants that they just scanned that one twice for me, which was the standard price. Got them home. They were obviously really nice, brand new with tags. I wasn't sure if they were men's or women's. They were women's. It actually said that on the tag. I just hadn't seen it. These sold for $33 after only 11 days. So that was another really quick sale, and I made $19.27. These like base layer pants in North Face, Patagonia, Outdoor Research, Columbia. They tend to sell really well for me. I think people layer with them if they're going hiking, especially in the winter, or if they want something that's lighter but still warm moving into spring or fall. That's what I would do at least. So it sold really well. So speaking of that second pair of pants that I also bought were these Orvis gray hiking pants. These were a men's pair, and these also have already sold. I am happy to report. So I accepted a $24 offer. I think these might have sold with my 30% off sale actually, but one way or another, I sold them for $24 after only 11 days, and I made $12.07 on those. Next is one of my favorite Anthropologie brands to sell, and that is Cloth & Stone. It sells really well for me. I actually just sold another top in the last couple weeks. And so I found this Anthropologie gray like tunic shirt dress. I think I put in the description you could wear it as like a short mini dress, or you could layer it with some leggings or, you know, some other sort of denim. It was also a size large, which is great to find in Anthropologie. The larger sizes typically aren't as saturated on the market, so they tend to sell faster for me. These sold for $33.98, and this, oh, I forgot to tell you, this sold on eBay. Everything else sold on Poshmark except for the rowback shirt. So the rowback shirt sold on eBay, and this cloth and stone dress sold on eBay. Everything else that you've heard so far was on Poshmark. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention those. But this sold after only 20 days, and I made $16.82. Moving on here was this Free People like swing dress. It's called the Sangria style. It was a bit older of a style. Looking back onto this haul, because that's the point of this video, right, is to be retrospective and see what did I pick up, what maybe I should have left. This is something that if I were to shop again, I would consider leaving behind. It's pretty basic Free People. I probably didn't need to pay up for this. It is a dress, but I'm pretty sure I remember them having it marked at the tops price, which is why I was willing to buy it. If they had it at the full like $8.50, I might have skipped it. But when I looked at it, I did not comp it in the store. Full disclosure, I didn't look for the specific style. It is pretty saturated, so that's probably why this hasn't sold. I'm gonna have to keep dropping the price a little bit if I'm, you know, guessing correctly, but stay tuned to my what sold videos, because hopefully more of these things will continue to sell. A really fun find as I was like passing by these and they caught my eye were these Kamek like snow bibs. I usually sell Kamek snow boots. I've never sold anything other than their snow boots or their shoes, but I saw these snow pants, like the suspender bibs hanging over to the side when I was looking at the kids' shoes. I grabbed them. They had them marked pretty cheap, if I'm remembering correctly. And these sold really fast also, which is great considering it was already mid-December, so somebody grabbed them for snow season. I did not want to hang on to these, obviously, into the spring. So these sold for $31 in only 9 days, and I made $17.67. I think I've mentioned in a couple of videos recently, these types of just like snow gear sells well for me in men's, women's, kids. I've sold just the pants. I've sold like the full outfit with the arms, especially in like the younger kid sizes. And I sell these snow bibs pretty successfully too. So keep an eye out for those. Here was one that I was unsure about. I'm still confident in my purchase, but it has not yet sold. And it was that Maurizio Tauti, probably not saying that correctly, but that really pretty like floral leather bag. It has not yet sold, but it has gotten a lot of interest on eBay and on Poshmark. I'm thinking that as we're moving into warmer weather and people are looking for whiter, lighter, brighter, florally type things, especially in the springtime, I do think this will sell. So I'm still happy I picked it up, but this is still on my did not sell list. And that rounds it out. So those are my 13 items. So if you're paying attention, that means that 9 of these items have sold and only 4 of them have not. So I'm pretty happy with that statistic, especially because as I'm filming this, it's like mid-February. I did this at the beginning of December. I didn't get them all listed, you know, immediately. So some of them might not even have been listed until closer to January. So I'm kind of looking at that like 45 to 60 day mark, and to have 9 of 13 items sold, I'm actually pretty happy with. So let's run the numbers though. Let's see if the haul was worth it thus far. I said at the beginning of the video that the entire haul cost me $66.35 for 13 items. After 9 of those items have sold, I have made $156.16. So if I subtract out the entire haul to include the items that have not yet sold, I have already made $89.81. So that means I'm already in the green, $90, and that everything else that I sell, those last 4 items, will be pure profit. I do think they will sell. I might have to drop the price a little bit. Obviously, that often happens, but I'm feeling good about that. Thriftmas day 1. I was looking ahead a little bit to Thriftmas day 2, and I've got some good items and I've got some really good sales in there. So stay tuned to these videos. Tell me if you like this series, because I really don't want to make 12 of these if these are not in any way helpful for you. But if you like them, please let me know down in the comments. Give the video a big thumbs up, because that really does tell me whether you have any interest in these videos. Come back for Thriftmas day 2. There'll probably be some other fun videos before that though, so I can't wait for that, and I'll see you next time. Bye.